and you're in the zone.
Good morning, Lincoln, and welcome back to another episode of the Lincoln Sports Zone.
I'm Olivia Hall.
And I'm Cole Farbizo.
Cool, have you been out to a track meet yet?
No, I haven't, but I plan on it.
Well, we have lots of exciting sports to cover for you today, but we are starting off with our track team.
The teams have been competing and working hard all season and are continuing to grind as we lead up to the more challenging meets.
The A teams continue on with day 2 of their invitational today. On Monday, the girls B team ran to New Albany to compete in a quad meet where they took on tough competition and had some big PRs.
Our very own Aubrey Thompson and Ian Phillips went down to the track to get all the highlights. Here are the runners.
As the gun goes off, Alea Whitfield bursts out of the blocks to earn the lead and finishes first with a time of 16.02 seconds, gaining points for the Lions. Izzy Kanga runs the 100-meter dash and places third in her heat with a time of 14.06 seconds. Next up, Izzy gets out quick to start off the 4x2 and passes the baton to Adrian Davis. Adrian keeps a good place and sends it off to Jessa Scherf. Coming in quick to finish it off is Aubrey Thompson. Though the Lions didn't win, they still finished off strong. The Lions start the race off strong, getting out quick and taking the lead. Charlie Malitz keeps her place in first and finishes strong with a time of 5 minutes and 55 seconds. Eliza Brawford follows close behind Charlie, placing second. She finished with a time of 6 minutes and 5 seconds. As the 800 starts, Charlie and Eliza continue to lead the pack as well. Charlie runs a 2 minute and 48 second, winning first again. The Lions continue to work hard while preparing for OCCs. This is Aubrey Thompson and Ian Phillips in the zone.
Thanks. The girls' track team has had an amazing season, especially after winning states during the indoor season. They've been working hard all season and making sure that they make it to states this year, and hopefully win. Mackenzie Kemp has 1 minute with one of the runners. Here's Mackenzie.
Hi guys, I'm here with senior track runner Genesis Penn. How are you doing today, Genesis?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So how has your guys' track season been going so far?
I believe the season's been going really good for, I believe, everyone, getting younger girls acclimated for the season to step up. I think everything's just been going really well.
Well, that's really great. How are you guys preparing for postseason coming up? I know it's like May is starting soon, postseason starting up. So how are you guys preparing for that?
I believe it's just a lot of consistency at practice and repetition and just getting better every time. Like the whole goal of everything is just do better than we were last time. So just a lot of consistency, I believe.
Okay, that's great. And then what are your guys' like goals for postseason? Like what do you guys want to do? Do you want to go to states again like you did last year?
Go to states and win, of course. And of course to everyone PR, just do better and just be better than they were last year. Just, yeah.
Well, thanks, Genesis. Thank you for joining me today, Genesis. I'm sending it back to Cole and Olivia at the sports desk.
Thanks, Mackenzie and Genesis.
It's very difficult to win a state championship in any sport.
And it's even harder to win a state title before your senior year.
Well, we have 2 spring athletes who did exactly that. A couple of our former sportsman students wanted to get a behind-the-scenes look at how D1 committed athletes stay focused after signing.
Yes, Jillian Sanders and Mia Salmon sat down with tennis star Brandon Carpico and track legend Camden Bentley to discuss how they got started and how they stay motivated.
Here's Committed After Committing.
We're grateful and excited for what the future holds. With that, I would like to finally announce that I'm committing to the University of
My name's Camden Bentley, and I committed to the University of Kentucky.
So, just off of that, I'm sure you can probably figure out going to Ohio State.
I'm Brandon Carpico, and I'm committed to the Ohio State University.
My childhood sport was gymnastics. I started when I was like 2 years old in the Little Mommy Me classes, so I did that up until middle school, and I just kind of ran track just because my brother did it. I thought it would be fun to be included in a school sport, and one of my friends in gymnastics actually ran track too, so we did club together because I actually broke my wrist in gymnastics, so I couldn't really do much. So I just started running track more and kind of fell in love with it and quit gymnastics even though I loved it for a really long time. I kind of liked track more and it was something I really enjoyed.
Come on, babe. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, Cam. Come on, come on, come on.
Go, Cam, come on.
Go, come on, come on. Come on, go.
My sophomore year, I won the state title in 300-meter hurdles and got runner-up in 100-meter hurdles. My junior year, I won both state titles in 300-meter hurdles and 100 hurdles, and I got the state record in 100-meter hurdles. This year, I'm gonna try and come back and win both, but also get the state title in 300-meter hurdles.
When I was 7 years old, my mom was at Target and she found this little driveway tennis set when I was really young, and she thought it would be something pretty fun for me and my sister to play, and I fell in love with it immediately. I asked my mom and my dad to hit with me all the time, and then I eventually started hitting off of my garage door, and then my parents put me in tennis lessons. Ohio State was a really, really easy decision for me. I grew up going to all the matches, and it was just such a great environment from when I was young, and it still is now. I created such a special bond with the coaches, the guys on the team. I really fit in amazingly there, and I knew that it felt like home. And then from the academic side, I want to go into aviation, and they have a top 3 aviation program as well as a top 3 tennis program in the country. So it was the best of both worlds, academically and athletically, and it was my dream school, so it made everything really, really easy.
Well, first of all, I was extremely excited for him. It's been his dream ever since he was a kid. He was determined he was going to play some sort of sport at Ohio State, and it just happened to turn out to be tennis. As far as his dad and I, we were proud, relieved. I mean, it's not easy for any high school senior to decide where they're going to go to college. So for him to make the decision, for them to want him and him want to go to Ohio State, it was a perfect match.
I wanted to have my visits planned for all in the fall so then I could have my season committed and I could just focus on running and track. So some schools don't, when they offer you your scholarship, they have you give them an answer in a time frame. So some of my schools had a week, some of them had a month. So it was just hard for me to take all of my visits and then give them an answer. So that can be really stressful, and just all the visits and all the traveling is it kind of drains you. It's a long process. So that was also very stressful for me too.
When I first committed, Ohio State was the #1 team in the country, so I didn't think that I was good enough to fit in there. So immediately after I committed, I wanted to prove to myself and everybody else in the country that I was good enough and I deserved to be there. And it took a long time for me to really get to think that I am worthy of that. And even now and then, I still have times where I don't think that I deserve it, so it still keeps me going, and that's one of the biggest motivators. And then my mom and dad, they've sacrificed so much for me to get to that level and to be able to provide those opportunities for me. So my mom and dad, and then just proving to myself and to everybody that I deserve what I have right now.
My college coaches actually reach out to me a lot and motivate me. She actually just texted me on Monday, have a great week, make it productive. So they do play a big role in keeping me motivated. I do have a couple of times where I'm I'm already committed, I'll be gone, whatever, just have fun. But I do want to break more records, break my record in 100 hurdles, and I haven't broken the 300 hurdle record yet, so I'm really trying to get that, and that kind of motivates me more to keep going.
I've been coaching Camden since her 8th grade year, so it's been about 3.5 years so far. At the beginning of the year, we set goals, and it's we have big goals where we want to win, we want to break records, run crazy times. So, every day it's if it's a rough day, it's hey, we're trying to match those goals that we set at the beginning of the year. So, just not letting her forget what we're trying to do.
I mean, he's self-motivated. I think that I try to keep things fresh and always be working on new things and how are we growing, not how are these results coming along.
Another great battle here, using the entire court to his advantage. Brandon drops one in the back corner. Vignesh running backwards, but it's just low, and Brandon Carpico wins the Division I state championship in 2 sets.
Because those are going to go up and down, so I try to make what we do about growth. That way it's not really dependent on oh, if I'm playing good this week, I'm going to be interested in training and have the motivation, or if I get this result, I'm going to be interested in training. It's more of this is a long-term journey that we're going on, and I'm in it for that, not so much the everyday I got to play good or I got to play bad.
Before I committed, the motivation was to get college looks, and now the motivation is to feel worthy of that. And then for this high school season, it's a revenge tour for me. Last year I only lost one match, and this year I don't plan on losing any. I don't want to, and it's definitely my motivation.
I have had a bunch of just weird things happen to me at the national stage in the final, because there's usually 3 rounds in 100 hurdles, so you have to pass each round to make it to the final round. So outdoor New Balance Nationals, I made it to the final round. I had a really great start and I hit the first 3 hurdles, so that set me back, and I wasn't the race that I was planning on having. So, and it's so tough in the final round when you know that you can perform better and it doesn't happen, and it's really annoying and stressful and frustrating for me at times. And so that happened again for me indoor New Balance Nationals. There's a false start, so it threw me off. I didn't have a great race. But I think that kind of fuels the fire, and even though it's frustrating and it happens, it's gonna happen to everybody at some point. So it kind of fuels my fire just to keep going. I wanna make this national final the best one that I've had this outdoor season.
Last year, the loss in the state final, it hurt a lot. It was the only loss of that high school season, and I felt like I let a lot of people down. I thought that I let my school down, my friends down, considering I'd won it the year before, and I lost it that year, and it was just sad. For a while, I thought it was my worst loss. Not worst based off of the people I was playing, but it was definitely the loss that hurt the most. And yeah, it was a really sad feeling. It was one of the few times I've teared up or cried after a match.
What I would say to younger generations in track and field is don't be discouraged by other people performing better than you. You're on your own track, and your success may look different than other people's, so just stay consistent and have fun.
To get to the top level, it's going to take a lot of work and a lot of time spent. So you won't always be able to spend every spare moment with your friends, and you're going to have to sacrifice some things that you would want to do for the things that you have to do to get to that top level. And once you realize that that's just kind of what you're going to have to do, putting in the work becomes a lot easier.
Thanks, Mia and Jill. That was awesome. Now let's switch to volleyball. Our boys volleyball team took on Pick Central this week. Our Skylar Nicholson and Genesis Penn have the highlights.
Lions host Pickerington Central at home on senior night.
In the first set, Caleb Boggs hits a Bryce Treese for a spike. It gets blocked by Central. Gabe Bushelman with the left side save. Set over again by Treese, making it 12-11, Lions.
The serve clears. Pass, set, spike. Nate Boggs finds the open. Lions up 13-12.
A continuous volley with saves made by both teams. The Lions set up their outside hitter, but Jalen Jones and Colin Hedersheet with the block. Lions 14-12.
After an easy win in the second set, starting off the third, Caleb Boggs back sets to Bushelman for the kill. Lions up 1-0.
With another impressive kill by Xavier Pressey, the Lions still up 23-21.
Ending off the third set, Jones and Treese elevates for another block. Closing out the game 25-21. Lions win.
I think this game was really electric. You know, it was one of the biggest crowds of the season, and seeing that from, our family and friends, that support means a lot to us. And you could feel it on the court too. Everyone was happy, everyone was connecting pretty well. And it was one of the best games I played, so I liked it a lot.
Our varsity softball team is one of the best teams in Ohio. Their 21-1 record is a reflection of that. And they've also clinched at least a share of the OCC championship. We made it out to their game on Monday against Westland, and the girls won 26-0. On Sunday, they played a doubleheader, and they dropped their first game of the year, losing 4-3 to Lebanon. And they beat Centerville. The Lions play in a tournament this weekend and travel to Grove City on Monday.
In last week's show, we showed you some stats from senior baseball player Adam Berger, who was up for National High School Athlete of the Week. He sadly didn't win the award, but he has been an absolute tear. We sent our very own Aiden Young to see what is leading Adam to his success and what the season still has to hold. Here's Aiden.
How I'm Aiden Young here with Adam Berger. So, Adam, how would you assess the season going so far for you as a team?
As of recently, I mean, we've been playing great. We just beat Grove City twice. They're ranked 3rd in the state. We started off a little shaky in the beginning of the season. But as of right now, we're really rolling. We're really building that team chemistry, and we're looking to make a huge run this year.
All right. So, I'm happy you're looking to make a huge run. So, I heard you're leading a conference and the team in every major statistical stat. So, how would you assess this hot streak for you as an individual?
A huge part is my dad. Before every single game, he does a full scouting report on all the pitchers that I'm going to be facing, and he goes and watches their film. He gives me drills, and before every single game, we go to DBAT for about 35, 40 minutes around that time frame, and we just hit. And he works me through my at-bats. He works me through everything that I'm going to be seeing during the game, my mental approach, because baseball is a huge mental sport, and we just go through it over and over and over until I can't get it wrong. And then that really makes me feel more confident. I feel prepared for the game. And when I get into my at-bats, I feel like I've already been here because I've been doing it the whole day. But yeah, I'd say a huge part is my dad.
You don't need a mentor in every aspect of life. So how would you assess some of the keys to keep this hot streak going?
I mean, all hot streaks come to an end eventually, but I'm really, really hoping I can keep this steady pace throughout the whole season, keeping my head on right, staying humble, just kind of going with the flow, keep doing what I'm doing, and we'll see what happens.
All right, that's all from me. I'm going to send it back to the sports desk.
Thanks, Aiden and Adam. Now let's switch to lacrosse.
And to do that, we turn to Skylar Nicholson. Good morning, Skylar.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Pretty good. What do you have for us today?
I'm here to talk about some girls' lax in hoops. Could you imagine starting on 2 varsity sports as a freshman? Well, here at Gehenna, freshman Hayden Hall is doing just that. Our very own AJ Chrisman has to take a deeper dive on how Hayden plays 2 varsity sports. Here's AJ.
In high school sports, being a freshman on varsity for 1 sport is impressive, but for 2 sports is spectacular. And here at Gehenna, freshman Hayden Hall is doing just that in girls basketball and girls lacrosse.
It feels good. I feel very honored. I feel like all my hard work has paid off and got me to starting varsity in both sports.
Most freshmen when on varsity are soft-spoken and don't contribute. Hayden has taken a bigger role in leading and encouraging her team.
Hayden Hall, I've known, I feel like since she was in the 6th or 7th grade. That's a name when you say it, you just light up about it because of her energy that she brings. Hayden's always been a hard worker at everything she does. Sometimes overwork, you have to sit her down, and she's always had leadership qualities. As she gets more confident and gets more seasoned in here at the high school, I think she'll be even more of a leader than she is now, but she always works hard, she leads by example, and she's vocal. So Hayden Hall is a true leader.
As a player, she works extremely hard. She's very talented. She's a leader. She's very disciplined, especially when it comes down to her work ethic, and also holding her teammates accountable, holding herself accountable to get in the gym and work out.
While playing 2 varsity sports is cool, having to balance out girls basketball in the winter and girls lacrosse in the spring can have its challenges.
I think one challenge is just proving myself and showing others in the team and older girls that I can play with them. And the second challenge is just trying to balance working with lacrosse and basketball at the same time.
As a freshman on varsity, having team chemistry with upperclassmen can have its challenges, but Hayden Hall has adapted and has made a big impact on her teammates.
Hayden definitely motivates the whole team, and she encourages us a lot because she is so young, and you can tell that she's one of those people that really keeps you accountable because she works when she's tired, and that is something that is it can be rare in a teammate. With lacrosse, she gets super, she's been super flexible. And I know it's been hard for her balancing lacrosse with basketball, and you can just tell she brings her A game and she's ready for anything.
Hayden is a great teammate, she's a hard worker, and she's a great leader.
Being a great varsity athlete as a freshman is hard, but with hard work and team chemistry, Hayden Hall has shown greatness and will show it for years to come. This is AJ Chrisman in the zone.
That's a look at lacrosse. Now back to Olivia and Cole at the sports desk.
Thanks, Skylar. All athletes strive for excellence. Setting career goals allows athletes to push themselves. Addie Haynes has been reaching for one goal for a while. Did she reach it? Our Jamie Curtis went out to talk to her. Here's Jamie.
I'm Jamie Curtis, and I'm here with varsity captain Addie Haynes. So, Addie, how was your practice today?
It was good.
That's good. So, you're a junior right now, but you're already verbally committed. How do you take that into your practices, into your games, when you're basically set right now?
I just try to have fun with everything, but also continue to go 100% and just really push myself and others and try to be a leader.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, congratulations. I heard that you got over 100 goals in your varsity career. What are your next goals? What are you striving for now that you've reached that big accomplishment?
Well, obviously 200, but just encourage everybody and make sure that to move on from the next pass. Like, if somebody does something bad, to just move on. You got the next one. And just work together, and really, if one person gets better, everybody gets better.
Thanks so much, Addie, for joining me. I'm going to send it back to the sports desk.
Thanks, Jamie. Now on to our Lincoln athletes who are continuing to improve by working out in the weight room.
For the past few weeks, there have been an assistant helping out in the weight room.
Yes, his name is Coach Stoner. He's been helping our athletes get better and making sure that they're the best.
He's done a lot with these athletes since he started. Here's Sebastian Tadako with the story.
Coach Emerson isn't the only person who's helping out in the weight. Sure, he has the ability to run the weight room by himself, but a little extra help wouldn't hurt. Ever since his new assistant, Coach Stoner, joined them in the weight room, it has improved.
Coach Stoner has been a huge asset to me, to our programs. Not only does it make things easier for me, but he's done a great enough job that I can trust him to run a team or to start a team while I'm working with another one, and then also assist me with teams, so then we can do more things.
Helping clean up, helping critique technique, helping coach develop workout plans, and anything between.
And making sure that the athletes are performing their best is just one action that he does to help around the weight room. He's constantly making sure everybody is working out.
He's just gonna keep me accountable, I guess, because usually he's just there when you don't think nobody's there. Like, if Emerson's not there, not looking, he's just there looking, making sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Just always there, keeping us accountable. You know, even though he don't say much, his presence always felt, and at the end of the day, he's just there to make us better.
Not only is he another pair of eyes in the room, he's also there to help change what the athletes have in their futures.
Right now, everything that we do every day is contributing to our future and just getting better, and he's always there. He's just a part of the process, and always there helping us get better.
I hope to help teach them some things in the weight room in terms of lifting, conditioning, everything in between, but also help impact who they are as high school athletes.
Not only has he made a notable change in the futures of these students, but his being there is something that will create many successful athletes in the future.
Thanks, Sebastian. Sure, there's a lot going on here at Lincoln.
But there's also a lot going on in the sports world.
And that includes the NFL Draft.
That's why we brought in our sports outsiders today. Good morning, Keegan.
What do you have for us today?
Well, today I'm joined by our outside zoners, Landon Shearer and Aiden Young. The draft was last night, super good. A lot of surprising picks, a lot of good picks. So, usually big topic of the draft is who's going to do the worst. Landon, who's the biggest bust this year?
Well, for me, it's Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson at Florida really didn't even do a lot to me. People are kind of overrating him, I almost think, because of that first game of the season that he had where he kind of had that huge upset win. But I think that his ability to kind of run outside the pocket still needs some work, and his pocket awareness and his ability to throw the ball deep just isn't that good. So I think his ability inside the pocket will be able to downgrade him to a bad quarterback this year.
Yeah. Aiden, how about you?
I'm going to go with Darnell Wright and Bears fans. You trade the Eagles a pick that became Jalen Carter for the 6th best offensive lineman in the draft. Broderick Jones, Peter Skoronski, Osiris Torrance, among others, all would have been better picks. Okay, I don't know what y'all were doing. You were picking number 1. You need to go BPA, and that was Jalen Carter. That's all we got.
All right, so my biggest bust, I have to agree with Landon, AR-15, Anthony Richardson. He hasn't proven anything. I haven't seen him do anything great outside that first game, so I think he's got nobody to learn from there in Indianapolis, so I think he's gonna he's not going to turn out great. So on the opposite end of the spectrum, biggest steal, Aiden or Landon, how about you?
Well, Jalen Carter, I think that he should have actually been picked way higher than the 9th pick. The Eagles got a steal there, and I think they're going to end up going to the Super Bowl again with that Jalen Carter because they just removed a D tackle earlier this year in free agency, but they're getting him back now. So I think that with that being said, that with Jalen Carter on that D line, that they'll be able to make the Super Bowl again this year.
Okay, I like Jalen Carter. You know, we watched him play against Ohio State. How about your biggest steal, Aiden?
How about Christian Gonzalez to the Patriots? He's going to be a perfect fit in that Bill Belichick scheme, and the fact that Bill Belichick was able to trade down to the 17th pick and still get him makes it even more of a steal with that extra draft cap they got.
There's definitely a good corner there that Bill Belichick got, and he knows what he's doing. My biggest steal was linebacker out of Iowa, Jack Campbell. I watched this guy play against Ohio State. He's all over the place, and he's really going to help that linebacker core that's led by Alex Anzalone now. So he's going to be a big help there. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to the next couple of days of the NFL draft, and hopefully everybody watching will enjoy it too. Back to Olivia and Cole at the Sports Desk.
Thanks, guys. Well, Lincoln, it's all the sports we have for you today.
Good luck to all the teams competing this weekend.
Make sure to tune in next week for another episode.
Thanks for watching us, and always,
Go Lions!